The following is a live sports presentation on Glycod.
You're watching a special presentation on Glycod.
It's Louisville girls soccer game night here this evening on Glycod, and we have got a good one for you as it is the number 1 and number 2 teams in terms of state titles ever in the state of Kentucky girls soccer history here in this one this evening, as it is your 5-1-1 Sacred Heart Valkyries taking on your 3-1 South Oldham Dragons in a battle that has been a lot of fun over the years. These two teams have had their fair share of success. You've got Sacred Heart with 9 state championships, including the last 2, so they are trying to be knocked off this season, and that is a South Oldham team they're taking on that is an 8-time state champion here in the state of Kentucky, but looking for their first since the 2022 season. But like I said, a ton of success between these two teams, and they have had their fair share of battles over the season. Hello and welcome here into Mitchell-Irvin Stadium on Cy Tucker Field, as that is the site of tonight's game here on the campus of South Oldham High School. Justin Kalen on the call for you this evening. Got Chris LeBar off to my right as our on-site producer. Ellie Hundley will be operating the camera for us this evening as we tick down towards kickoff here this evening. Let's go ahead and jump into our pregame. I've also got an interview coming up with head coach Ken Burke of the South Oldham Dragons, but this is a Sacred Heart team coming into this one 6 straight unbeaten. They went to Notre Dame Academy and lost 2-1 back in their very first game back on August 10th. A draw at Central Hardin back on August 19th, but they have won 3 straight contests since then. As I mentioned, the 2-time defending state champions, as they have won those 9 in school history. Head coach Sean Francis in his 5th season. Listen to this record, folks, 93-11-7 as head coach of the Valkyries. He played collegiately at Lindsey Wilson here in Kentucky from 2006 to 2009, spent a ton of time in the MLS as well as the UFL, so a great guy to lead this Valkyrie team. Also has spent time as part of the Jamaican national team. On the year, Sacred Heart has scored 14 goals, averaging 2 per game, and they've only allowed 6. That is less than 1 per game, 2 shutout wins and 1 scoreless draw on the season. For Sacred Heart, 2-match winning streak coming into this one since a 3-0 loss to Notre Dame Academy back on August 15th. They won 3-1 versus Simon Kenton in their last contest on Saturday, a 3-1 win at E-Town, and a 1-0 win at Lexington Catholic were their other 2 wins on the season. 8-time state champion, as I mentioned, second most in the state. Head coach Ken Burke in his 12th season, 158, 63, and 17 overall for the Dragons. They went 10-4-5 a season ago, and he replaced Cy Tucker, who the field is named after here at South Oldham, who retired after the 2014 title. He won 378 games at South Oldham, set a state record on his way out. The Dragons, 7 goals this season, 5 of them allowed, 1 shutout win and 1 shutout loss as well. The series numbers, the last 26 matchups, it is Sacred Heart leading 22-2-1. 2020 was the last draw when these two teams knotted up at 1, and then 4-2 back in 2003 was the last Dragons win. As they try to snap that streak here tonight, we'll see how it goes. As we're set for our first break, we'll come back on the other side. We'll catch up with Coach Burke of the South Oldham Dragons, see his mindset coming into this game here this evening. Stay with us. You're watching Louisville girls soccer game night here on Glycod.
Innovation is what allowed us to reach for the stars. And now, to reach for the ignition without changing your oil for what feels like forever. Introducing Oil Guard, a Ferris exclusive. This innovative Vanguard oil system lets you go 5 times longer between oil changes. Along with Ferris's patented suspension system, you'll cut faster, mow longer, and reduce maintenance.
Anderson Sales and Service in Madison, Crestwood, and Louisville.
You don't have to look far to see the power of the Electrical Union Local 369. No matter the size, we have the right contractor to fill your needs. When it counts, you can count on the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 369. Contact the IBEW today.
Hi folks, Mike Kennedy for HKC Roofing. HKC installs the most effective gutter guard on the market at half the cost of the national brands. We guarantee it. Call today for an additional 20% off.
Time matters, and when you're in need of a fast yet easy car wash, try Clementine's. Family owned and open 24 hours a day. Clementine's is a touchless wash that can make your car look as good as new in as little as 3 minutes. Visit them at the Old Thomas Car Wash location, 4139 Bardstown Road, or next to Kroger Fuel Center at 2010 Highway 53 in LaGrange. Clementine's, a proud supporter of high school athletics on Glycod, and juiced by Thomas Car Wash.
When you bundle home and auto, life can be easier. You choose coverage that makes sense for you, at a price that's right for you, and a local State Farm agent who's there for you.
Call State Farm agent Leslie Gilly in Oldham County today.
When you're buying or selling a new home and you want to do it with few hassles, count on Polo Real Estate Group. Founded and owned by 1993 Male High graduate Dion Reese, Polo Real Estate has over 2 decades of experience and offers skillful consultation and representation for your sale or purchase. Polo Real Estate Group, a realtor you can trust.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German American Bank has been raising the standards in banking and wealth management for over a century. Big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. We're lending more than money. We're lending a hand. German American Bank, building our community together.
You're watching a special presentation on Glycod.
Back here at South Oldham High School, Justin Kalen for your Louisville girls soccer night here on Glycod. And I'm joined now by South Oldham head coach Ken Burke. Coach, now in your 12th season, you all are off to a good start, 3-1 on the year so far. What's kind of been working well for you so far?
Well, we've been playing really good team defense. I mean, we're kind of tough to score on in most nights. I hope that continues through tonight. And, with an organized back line that has some really veteran defenders and a veteran goalkeeper, it's kept a lot of goals going out that maybe would go in on a lot of teams. But, what we're looking for from here on out is to make sure we can score some goals. And I feel like if we can score 2 or 3 goals, we can compete with just about anybody.
Well, when you were telling me off air here that not only do you have a lot of people that can contribute, you're not having to lean on one player. So what has that done for your team here in the early portions of the season?
Well, I think it's also tough when you have to play against South Oldham or Sacred Heart or Simon Kenton or any of these big top teams, that when they have just one person up top that you have to shut down, it makes it easy defensively. But if we kind of share the wealth and spread the wealth and then attack from different areas, sometimes it makes us more tough to defend.
Well, this is a Sacred Heart team that you've played a number of times over the years since you got here. I guess, what are your expectations coming into this? They're a really good team. I know you know that. I know your team knows that. I guess what's the plan of attack coming into this tonight?
We actually just kind of treated this like any other game. There have been years where I've made this look like the Super Bowl, and I've had all kinds of PowerPoints ready and all kinds of hype videos and things like that. And sometimes I feel like we oversell it. We've had a couple of games that we've tied Sacred Heart. We've had games that we lost by 1. We've been right there. And in the years that we can compete with them, we're right there with them. And so who knows what this game is, but they're not going to hand any championship rings out for this game. And I'll tell you what, whoever wins Region 8 has got to go through Region 7. And so they're probably going to be the favorite to win Region 7. So this isn't the game you want to win. This is a game you want to show well, compete well, show that you can be on the same field with these guys, and then hopefully get some good breaks come October.
Sure, absolutely. At the end of the day, it's just soccer, right?
That's right.
All right, Coach. Well, we'll let you go. I know you're a busy man. Appreciate the time, and best of luck tonight.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
All right, and we'll be back with more here on Glycod.
For dependable, friendly heating, cooling, electric, and plumbing service, it's Kinzer & Kinzer at 200 East Jefferson Street in LaGrange, your locally owned and operated Rheem dealer. Call 502-222-0497.
LaGrange Service Center is a professional automotive service center that aims to provide the highest level of customer satisfaction. Their team is dedicated to performing honest and ethical work. Their experienced technicians make affordably priced immediate and scheduled repairs. Plus, they offer 24-hour emergency roadside assistance and much more. Located at 409 West Jefferson Street, or call 502-222-1673. LaGrange Service Center.
Looking to ease the stress of running a business? Then count on the accountants at Kelly King & Company. They offer a wide array of services, including taxes, payroll, and bookkeeping, while providing deep analysis and strategic guidance to help you make sound, smart business decisions. Contact Troy in Crestwood at 502-241-5656 or visit them online at kingcpa.net. Kelly King & Company, proudly serving and supporting Oldham County for generations and a dedicated partner to small business.
Looking for sound, prudent financial advice? Did you know that one of the brightest and best financial advisors is in your own backyard? Robin Lawson of Financial Solutions Incorporated has a mission to understand your long-term goals and to create a specific strategy just for you. Robin understands the challenges that face most of us today and offers fresh, out-of-the-box thinking that could put you on the road to financial freedom. Contact Robin Lawson today at 502-225-9900. That's 502-225-9900 or visit lawsonfinancial.net.
You're watching a special presentation on Glycod.
Back here, South Oldham High School on Mitchell Irvin Stadium on Cy Tucker Field, as we are just about set to go for your Louisville girls soccer game night here this evening on Glycod. Justin Kalen back alongside you as they announce the starting lineups in stadium here for the number 2 ranked Sacred Heart Valkyries. As I mentioned, 5-1-1 on the season. Your South Oldham Dragons come in number 4 in the state at 3-1. So we are expecting a hotly contested battle here in this one this evening, as we'll go ahead and get you your starting lineups as well. First for Sacred Heart, they're going to trot out Sky Bonnert. She will trot out as number 25. Madeline Courier, she is number 4. Bella Holdgrave, a junior, wears number 3. Avery Krupp is a junior as well, wears number 23. Alex McDevitt, a junior, wearing 13. Stella McRae, a junior, wears 44. Samantha Myron, we'll say her name a lot tonight. She is a sophomore, wears number 9. And Madeline Schulten wears number 32. You've got Weidenborner as the goalkeeper, and we are up against the national anthem, so we'll be back with the rest of those here on Glycod.
Time matters, and when you're in need of a fast yet easy car wash, try Clementine's. Family owned and open 24 hours a day. Clementine's is a touchless wash that can make your car look as good as new in as little as 3 minutes. Visit them at the Old Thomas Car Wash location, 4139 Bardstown Road, or next to Kroger Fuel Center at 2010 Highway 53 in LaGrange. Clementine's, a proud supporter of high school athletics on Glycod, and juiced by Thomas Car Wash.
You're watching a special presentation on Glycod.
For dependable, friendly heating, cooling, electric, and plumbing service, it's Kinzer & Kinzer at 200 East Jefferson Street in LaGrange, your locally owned and operated Rheem dealer. Call 502-222-0497.
You're watching a special presentation on Glycod.
And back here, South Oldham High School, where we have officially wrapped up our national anthem and now set for soccer action this evening. It's Louisville girls soccer game night here on Glycod. Justin Kalen alongside you, and let's go ahead and continue those starting lineups. We'll start all over from the top for Sacred Heart. Sky Bonnert, Madeline Courier, Bella Holtgrave, Avery Krupp, Alex McDevitt, Stella McRae, Samantha Myron, Madeline Schulten, Alyssa Weidenborner will be the goalkeeper tonight. Isabella Wazinski is a junior wearing number 2, and Sadie Zeller, a senior, wearing number 19 for South Oldham. They're going to bring out Adele Finnerty in goal this evening. She is a junior wearing number 1. Hayden Smith wears number 3. She's a senior. Evie Lilly, a senior as well, wears number 8. Blair Hartman, also a senior, wearing number 9. Maggie Murphy, a senior. Anna Kate Shelton, a senior. Allie Stahl, a senior. Mallory Van Meter, a junior. Abby Hammonds, she is a senior as well, alongside Lydia Gardner and Piper Robertson, the two of those sophomore and junior. As we are just about set to go, Sacred Heart will be donning their white uniforms this evening. Looks like the navy blue trim and numbering on those jerseys. South Oldham going to come out in their green uniforms, that navy green with the white numbering and lettering on those jerseys. So we up here in the booth are very appreciative for an easy jersey night. Two colors contrasting very well against one another. As I mentioned a little bit ago, Chris LeBar alongside me to the right as the on-site producer. We've got Ellie Hunley up on the camera for us this evening. We get set for what should be a fun night, fun game here from Cy Tucker Field, as it will be Sacred Heart football first, and we are underway. Anxious to see how this one plays out in the early going, see if either of these teams could grab some early momentum. Could take them a long way towards perhaps gathering a win here in this one tonight on a gorgeous evening here at South Oldham. Hovering right around the 80-degree mark here at kickoff. Clear skies, so no weather to be involved with, as a good early run here for the Dragons is going to get cut off. And then headed out of play here. A little confusing watching a soccer game on a football field because your eyes trick you into thinking the football sidelines are out of bounds, but you've actually got about 2, maybe even 3 feet beyond these sidelines for football. As we are a minute into this thing. Throw in here for the Valkyries. 2-time defending state champions. They have been very, very good under head coach Sean Francis, as I mentioned, in his 5th season. An incredible winning percentage. Throw in here. No, that's a free kick, excuse me. Courier sends it towards the middle of the field. Good clearance there by the Dragons, at least momentarily, and now they'll try to advance it. Working it up that left sideline. It's Piper Robertson with it, working it to the middle of the field. Good pass over to the right-hand side and going to give it a go, but just off to the left. Good early action here for the Dragons. Heard Coach Burke in that pregame interview just talking about how they treat this just like another game. In years past, maybe that wasn't the case, but at this point in the season, just a good test here for his Dragons team and looking pretty good here in the early going of this one. Hard takedown on the far side of the field there, but no call. Now going to work it all the way back. Good pass up the field if she was on sides, and she was not. The flag goes up immediately from the far side official. And this thing will go back with Sacred Heart. That was not far off from being onside. It looked like she had a little bit of her body in front of the nearest defender there. That's the short free kick now. Valkyrie's going to take their time working it up the field. 3 minutes into this first half of play. Coach Francis begging his team to be a little bit quicker with the ball. That Valkyrie bench down to our right. South Oldham off to the left. Coach Francis, some might consider a legend here in these parts. Got him a USL championship with Louisville City back in 2018. Got a chance to talk to him a little bit about that in the pregame this evening. Unfortunately, went back in 2019, but they fell in that contest. So he goes 1-1 in his USL Championship days. Has Sacred Heart back in possession here as that ball caroms out of play off of the Dragons. Sacred Heart hasn't really gotten an opportunity down the field quite yet. We've seen South Oldham with a couple of different tries. As this one going to be cleared out by the goalkeeper, Adele Finnerty. Donning that pink uniform in that goalkeeper spot tonight as we played nearly 5 minutes into this first half. Courier on the throw in. Gets it onto the foot of Holtgrave, who sends it across the field. If you're familiar with Sacred Heart soccer, Sacred Heart girls soccer, obviously, there are a number of familiar names across this roster that have been with this team for not just last year, but the prior year. A number of players on this roster have experienced those 2 championships. I can assure you they're hungry for more. As Finnerty gets set to boot this one away. Tries to get South Oldham some advantageous field position. A little too impatient that time by Roberson. Now all the way back. Weidenborner sends it away. Now back to Weidenborner. Dragons fighting to get that possession back, but unable to do so there, but now they will. So they'll go all the way back. Finnerty with a big boot on it. See if they can work it up that right side. Good battle over there on the far side of the field, but it's going to be won by the Valkyries momentarily. Nearly a giveaway after some big contact in the middle of the field, but Sacred Heart comes away with it. Now Courier, she gives it off. Back into the middle here. And a good opportunity there for Sacred Heart, but better defense there by the Dragons. As that was Bella Holtgrave trying to get a shot on goal, but the defender right there. And they're going to rule that it took the last touch off of Sacred Heart, so South Oldham was actually going to get it back here. Finnerty will have another goal kick. Hasn't had to do a lot in terms of goalkeeping thus far, but she's had to make a number of goal kicks. See if her team can build up some possession time here, and they give it away almost immediately. Back come the Valkyries. Trying to work it to the middle of the field. Now going to drop it off to the left. Now here they go back to the middle, and just a little bit too long. Great idea there. Execution could have been a smidge better on that one and given Sacred Heart their first opportunity of the game, but a little bit too far out front. So again, Finnerty will have to kick it away. Looked like that was Sky Bonnert on the receiving end of that Sacred Heart pass. Couldn't quite get her leg out extended on that one. And we're going to get a flag over there on the far side. They might have got her for a handball there. Looked like that ball bounced up, hit her right on the elbow, at least from the angle I'm at. Free kick far down the field, but the Dragons there for it and now battling to keep possession. And a good job coming up and snagging that one. As here's Bonnert in possession. And she tried to leave it off that time for Holtgrave, and wasn't a great first touch, but she got lucky because they ruled last touched by South Oldham. Working it to the middle of the field here. Now up where it meets the head of a Dragon. Holtgrave, she comes down with it. It sends it out to the right for Bonnert. Bonner looking to make some noise here, trying to find some room. That deflects right off the defender as that is Courier with it. She gives it away. Now back out up top. Very patient here for Sacred Heart on this possession. Nearly taken away, but Bonner comes away with it. Now into the middle of the field with it. Out to the left. It's going to be tracked down by South Oldham, but just briefly. Courier trying to find some room. She's taken down, no whistle. And nice wherewithal by her to get back up and get on the ball. And then she's taken down again, and that time was whistled for the foul were the Dragons as we near the 10-minute mark remaining. Or 10-minute mark through here in this first half. 30 minutes remaining. Trying to speed us up here. So it will be a Sacred Heart free kick who got off a little slow here in this one, but they've controlled possession the last 5-6 minutes or so. Looks like Courier set to take this one. Good ball in, but it's going to sail over the top of the bar. And back to South Oldham it goes. Finnerty directing traffic down towards our right. Coach Francis down there on the Sacred Heart sideline, very vocal per usual. Finnerty, good ball up the field. Looked like a little tug in there at midfield, but Sacred Heart comes away with it. Now Holdgrave kicks it up. That is going to find the foot of a Dragon player here and promptly kicked out of bounds, so it will remain with Sacred Heart. Holdgrave quickly in bounds. Now looking for some room, trying to get that one into the middle, but great defense there by the Dragons. As that was Avery Krupp trying to send it into the middle. Krupp gets it out top. This one nearly taken away, but it's going to wind up at the foot of Courier. And she has been very patient here in the last several minutes as she takes the shot there. It was on goal, but really no issues for Finnerty. South Oldham just looking to try to get some possession established. And now here there's a good run down the right-hand side, and that ball going to wind up behind and off to the right of the goal. But one of the best runs they've had in quite some time, and it results in a corner kick. First one of the evening for either team. See if they can draw something up here on the set play. As I mentioned in our pregame, South Oldham looking for their first win against Sacred Heart since 2003. As that corner attempt comes up empty, but Dragons remain in possession, at least momentarily, and now it's taken away. Good battle for the ball that time along the left-hand side, as Roberson came away with it. Now up the field, working it into the middle. Feels like a good opportunity here, and then a couple players tangled up in the middle of the field, and that's going to be called a foul. As that was Adeline Schulten getting tangled up out there with that looked like Blair Hartman. And our head official right there on the case. Saw that whole thing played out, and look at this, Adele Finnerty, the South Oldham goalie, going to come all the way down to this side of the field, gives them an extra man here as she'll actually go on goal herself. And just a little bit too strong on that one, off to the left of the goal as well, as she gets a congratulations high five from her teammate, Evie Lilly, at midfield. Lilly appreciated the effort of Finnerty. Not often do you see your goalie come down on the opposite side of the field and take a free kick, but I don't hate the decision there by Coach Burke. It's a player he knows he can trust. As now the Dragons looking for another opportunity here. As this one's sent in, and just a little bit too wide. As that was a good pass in by Allie Stahl. Great recognition, but her teammate unable to catch up to it in time. She was looking for the foot of Liv Burney, the junior who checked into the game in the last several minutes. And this one going to be ran out of bounds, last touched by the Dragons. So back to, well, looked like it was going back to Sacred Heart. Now they'll take the throw in. A little hesitant down there on that far side. Kind of faked me out a little bit, but now all of a sudden it's going to go back to South Oldham. So after a first, 3-4 minutes where both teams were feeling each other out, then you had about a 6-minute spurt where it was all Valkyries. Now, the last 4 or 5 minutes, it's been all Dragons. See if we can get one of these two teams to break through. 2 ties in the last 26 ball games. Last one coming back in 2020 as this one going to be knocked out of play. Let's see whose ball it is. They're going to say it belongs to the Dragons. We are 15 minutes into this first half. Tightly contested game so far, like we expected it to be. Holtgrave on the inbounds. That ball's kicked out of play. Remains with the Valkyries here. Good defensive effort there by the Dragons. Another throw in, this time into the corner. And trying to get around the edge as it lands at the foot of Finnerty. Really no issue for her at the end of the day. As she gets set to kick another one away. Good ball down the field here. As that sun getting lower and lower off to our right here at Mitchell-Irvin Stadium. On the campus of South Oldham High School. Justin Kalen on the call for you this evening. Louisville girls soccer game night here on Glycod. And it'll be another Finnerty goal kick. Good thing these players do as much stretching as they do prior to the game. Finnerty needed it. With as busy as she's been in terms of sending the ball down the field. This time it lands at the foot of one of her teammates. That is Mallory Van Meter, who tries to advance it up the field. Now that ball's loose, battling for it. And a foul's going to be called against the Dragons here, so back to Sacred Heart it goes. Unfortunate there as Burney had the ball in a good position on the field. Looked like she had some real estate to work up that left side. Had that foul not been called. Here is Burney with it. Now the ball bouncing loose as it's tracked down by Courier. Holtgrave trying to track that one down, but just didn't quite have enough speed that time. Holtgrave again going after it. That ball knocked loose. Winds up on the foot of Hartman as she loses it. Here is Holtgrave. And that ball knocked out of play. And the Dragon faithful across the stadium from us, loving the effort from the Dragons. Both of these teams have certainly had their moments here in this first half as we're nearly halfway through the first half of play. Neither team able to break through quite yet as we're still at zeros up on the scoreboard. Couple of Sacred Heart substitutions. as it's going to be Evelyn DeFore, a junior, coming into the game, as does Molly Moyer, another junior. Looks like Sky Bonnert coming out of the game, as does Alex McDevitt. And South Oldham over there on that far sideline, unable to get this one in play, and it winds up back at the foot of the Valkyries here. Couple of fresh legs on the field, see if they can take advantage of it and find that first goal of the evening. Deep kick down the field, but it's going to land in no man's land. But works out as Sacred Heart unable to keep this thing in play. So now South Oldham with the ball on their side of the field. As we are right now at the halfway mark of this first half. Weidenborn boots this one. Getting it to the midfield mark, but headed by a Dragon. And now a battle for it. Outside to the left for Bernie. Bernie tried to get it back to the middle of the field, but good defense. They were all over her that time. Quick double team as soon as she got that ball at her foot. Now the throw in coming up here. Stella McCrae checking out of the game for Sacred Heart. Also got a substitution on the South Oldham side of things. Didn't quite see who came in. As the Valkyries in possession now. Good pass over to the left-hand side of the field by Avery Krupp. Now Krupp sends it on to the back. But nearly gets it right back, but great read defensively as the Dragons come in the other direction. Back to the middle of the field. Good opportunity here. Outside right, this ball towards the goal and just off to the right-hand side. Good look there for Liv Burney, the junior, who came off the bench and has provided some good offense for them. Did a great job. She's provided some good energy thus far. However, that one off of her foot, so it will go back to Sacred Heart on the goal kick here. And they'll opt to go the short route. Ball knocked out of play. Now another ball. They were trying to advance that one up the left-hand side with Rain Scheringer. Throw in here into a good spot, but quickly knocked away. And easy to see. I know it's a different group, but easy to see why this Sacred Heart team is two-time defending champions. They are swarming defensively. South Oldham has done a very good job defensively as well, as we still sit scoreless with just over 17 minutes left here in half number one. This ball going all the way back into goal for Weidenborner. She puts a good boot into it. Lands right at the foot of one of her teammates and now knocked down, but possession kept alive. As that sun gets closer and closer to getting behind those trees off to our right. This ball going to be dropped all the way back for Lily. Lily off to the right-hand side. That's going to land at the foot of the Valkyries. Now they work it up the middle of the field. They had numbers, or at least they had a break, but squandered away, at least momentarily. Now perhaps another opportunity here, out to the right-hand side. Wide open out there. That is Giovanna Garza. Garza to the middle of the field. And she briefly gave it away before a shot taken on goal. That was Bella Holdgrave, I believe, who swung her leg at that one. Was just a smidge over the top of the bar. It was a good kick at it. Number 18, Sophia Santos, coming onto the field for South Oldham. She will replace number 3, Hayden Smith, the senior. Now Finnerty gets another good leg into one here, but taken out of there by Holtgrave. Here she comes up the left-hand side. Good pass up. And knocked out of play, and that's going to be the first corner of the night for Sacred Heart. Nearly 25 minutes into this first half. Both teams now with one corner apiece as Samantha Myron will take the corner kick. In the middle, great opportunity there as that ball was bouncing around, but nobody could get a leg on it. Sacred Heart does keep possession alive. Now to the middle off the carom as the Dragons getting possession, but only briefly. As here comes Courier. She'll send it up the field and does not find a teammate as it sails out of play. Looked like she was going for Garza on the right side of the field. Those two just couldn't quite connect. How about this boot up? But Bernie unable to control it after that first touch. And now a good opportunity here, as here is Garza trying to cut to the middle. Got inside, but then lost possession as it's kicked out of play. So a throw-in upcoming now for Sacred Heart. Courier down to the inline, gets it right back, and trying to keep it in play, but it is knocked out by the defender. Quick throw in here. Once again, Finnerty, no problem back there in goal. She's been faced with several challenges so far in this one, but really hasn't succumbed to any of them quite yet. Only allowed 5 goals all year. South Oldham has scored 7 on their side of things offensively. It's now great ball up the field, but even better job defensively stepping in and taking that one away. I believe that was Maggie Murphy reading that pass perfectly. But you got to give credit as well to Sky Bonnert, who tried to thread the needle that time, and she nearly did. Had she been able to, that would have led to a really good opportunity for Sacred Heart. Down to 13 minutes left here in this first half. Good ball up, but Weidenborner wisely comes out of her box to corral it. Trying to work up the left side, a little bit careless there by the Valkyries, as South Oldham going to make another substitution as Blair Hartman checking back in. She'll replace number 14, Liv Burney. It's a good stint off the bench for Burney. She provided some great minutes off the left side of that formation. It's another ball landing out of play. It stays with the Dragons here. 12 minutes remaining in the half. Trying to work this one to the middle of the field. A little too strong off that right foot. I believe that was Lydia Gardner on the right side of the field. But it does result in a corner kick for South Oldham. Second time tonight they've had this opportunity. Couldn't take advantage the first time. See what they draw up here. Good ball into the middle, and a couple different heads hit that, it looked like, as it stays with them here. Now trying to work it to the middle. That ball caroms out of play. And another corner for the Dragons. Keep giving them opportunities off of set plays, and eventually they'll cash in. They're not the number 4 team in the state for no reason, as here they are in the middle of the field, and a little miscommunication there. That would have been a good opportunity, but instead they're going to get the throw in. Ball still deep in their portion of the field. As the throw into the middle, just missing the head of the lunging Dragon player, and then finally a shot towards goal that is stopped. Anna Kate Shelton with a great idea there on the pass, just a little too much mustard on it. Or that could have given the Dragons their first really good opportunity of the evening. Just over 10 minutes remaining here in the first half. A fun JV contest prior to this one that was scoreless until about 8 minutes left in the game, and then Sacred Heart was able to find the back of the net twice in quick succession. Ultimately ending up winning that game 2-0. Still looking for our first goal here in this one, as we do get a foul call in the middle of the field, which should give the Dragons the ball in a really good spot. Oh, they called a penalty? I did not think she was inside the box, but admittedly don't have the best angle up here. Wow, so that's huge. That's going to be Maggie Murphy lining up to try to find the back of the net here. A nervy moment for Alyssa Weidenborner, the Sacred Heart goalie. Murphy gets the whistle. She steps off her kicks. Now she'll take the shot, and she will get it. How about that, with 9:53 remaining in this first half? South Oldham will take the lead. It felt like it was going to happen eventually. We just didn't really know when. And time was starting to run out here in this first half of play. But in the 31st minute, Maggie Murphy finding the back of the net. How about that? Now the Dragon fans across the stadium from us have even more to cheer about, as the scoreboard going a little crazy after that goal. It's not you, Chris. It's the scoreboard. Don't worry. So it should be 9:53 remaining. What an opportunity there. They got their chance, and Maggie Murphy made it count. Is now the PA announcer here at South Oldham apologizing for the scoreboard. No problem. Sacred Heart, after moments in this first half where it felt like they had dominated, they now look up at the scoreboard and find themselves trailing. As this ball kicked out of play by Madeline Courier. And they're going to end up just resetting the scoreboard as they turn it off. Didn't help. Never know with technology. This ball kicked out of play. That was Roberson just trying to send it out of there. Courier finds the head of a Dragon, but no harm, no foul as it goes out of play. Now a good chance here for the Valkyries if they can get to that one, and Holtgrave does. Possession still alive. Courier will fire and ends up right into the hands of Adele Finnerty. Good awareness by Finnerty, realizing where that ball was going. Now trying to work it down the right. That ball out of play. Stays with the Dragons. Up the field here. Now down the right-hand side. Look at that pass. That was a beaut. Into the middle of the field. Nearly another opportunity as this ball bouncing around. And ultimately going to land out of play, but it'll stay here with South Oldham. And that Dragons coaching staff down there below us to the left, loving the effort from their team here so far. So they lead 1-0. Still working on that scoreboard, so as of now, unsure of exactly how much time left in this first half. Stoppage of play here as we're going to get a foul call. Off to the left. Coach Francis and Coach Burke down on their respective sidelines, screaming at their players, trying to make sure they're at the right spot on the field. That sun setting behind the trees, finally, off to my right, behind that Cy Tucker field side here at Mitchell Irvin Stadium on the campus of South Oldham High School. Big time early season girls varsity soccer game here in the state of Kentucky. Set it up top at Sacred Heart, a 9-time state champion. South Oldham, an 8-time state champion. That's number 1 and number 2 in the state of Kentucky in terms of titles. So to say this is a matchup between respected programs perhaps is an understatement. Throw in coming up here for Sacred Heart. Trailing by 1 as they look for that equalizer prior to the halftime break, but it's not going to happen there as that pass a little too long. Now a foul in the middle of the field that should go against the Valkyries, and it will. A little too aggressive that time by Schulten. Just a perfect night for soccer here. Hovering around 78 degrees here in Crestwood. As Finnerty makes her way up the field again for the free kick. Had a good strike at it last time. See if she can do something similar here. As a good ball again, but this time it sails right through the football uprights. Unfortunately, those sit above the goalpost here on the soccer field. Nothing lead for the Dragons, number 4 team in the state of Kentucky. This one's been pretty well everything we thought it would be here in the lead-up. And again, the scoreboard off to my right is not functioning at the moment, so still flying blind in terms of time left here in this first half, but we've got to be under 2 minutes to play if I had to guess, if not less than that. Another throw in for the Valkyries here. See if they can work it down the field and get that tying goal. But it's got to be right here, it feels like, as they try to go up the left-hand side, and that ball kicked out of play. Madeline Courier here on the near side, loving the effort that she saw on that last try to get up the field by her teammates. Dragons with it here. See if they can throw a punch, get them another one before the halftime break. Talking about Sacred Heart getting the equalizer, what's it do to the Valkyries if the Dragons can find another one? Could be a good opportunity here, working up the left-hand side with it. And that ball taken away. Great defensive effort. I believe that was DeFore on the defense that time. Now at the foot with Robertson. Trying to sling it into the middle, taken away. Now a big boot up the field. And waiting for a halftime whistle any minute. Finnerty up the field again. Now going to try to work up the left with Roberson. Lands at the foot now with Van Meter. She's double teamed as it's taken away. I'll tell you what, both of these teams, they are battling out there. As Myron tried to get it in the middle of the field, taken away. Tell you what, Samantha Myron, the sophomore, haven't called her name a whole lot tonight. She was a pivotal piece for this team a season ago in their state championship run as a freshman. Finnerty once more set to kick it away. And kept alive here by Sacred Heart as we continue to await the halftime break. I don't have a watch on me, but it feels like we have played more than that 9:53 that was remaining after the opening salvo. As our official does look at her watch down there on the field, but has yet to make a move. Whistle still hanging at her neck. We're waiting for it to go towards the mouth. Big collision there in the middle of the field. And it's going to be won by the Dragons. Weidenborner. She'll send it away. Good head there by the Dragons, and that's going to be a foul call. I thought that was our halftime whistle, but just the foul call there. Quick shot towards goal, just over the top of the bars. And back to the Dragons it goes. Now it seems like I hear someone counting down over there on that sideline. And it's 2-1, and that will do it for the first half of play. Very entertaining first half of play. We thought it would be with these two teams coming into this one, but it is the South Oldham Dragons with a 1-0 lead over the defending state champion Sacred Heart Valkyries. That was a fun first half of soccer. We'll step aside for a break here. We'll come back, and we will break it all down for you in your halftime report. Let you know what happened in that first half. Stay with us. You are watching Louisville Girls Soccer Game Night here on Glycod.
Innovation is what allowed us to reach for the stars. And now, to reach for the ignition without changing your oil for what feels like forever. Introducing Oil Guard, a Ferris exclusive. This innovative Vanguard oil system lets you go 5 times longer between oil changes. Along with Ferris's patented suspension system, you'll cut faster, mow longer, and reduce maintenance.
Anderson Sales and Service in Madison, Crestwood, and Louisville.
Trying to be a responsible citizen and the best recycler you can be, but you just aren't sure what goes where? Google Oldham County Waste Wizard and check out the Wizard search engine. Just type in the name of your mystery item and see what pops up. It will tell you whether it goes in the trash, recycle bin, or donations. It tells you how to discard troublesome items like paint and televisions. Can you believe it even tells you how to get rid of a boat? Oldham County Waste Wizard. Do you believe in magic?
This message funded by Oldham County Solid Waste Management.
From tools and equipment to tips on finishing your project, see the helpful folks at Crestwood Hardware, your locally owned Ace Hardware store. Built on more than a century of service, Crestwood Hardware offers Oldham County's best and most convenient selection of products for your home, farm, or garden. Visit Crestwood Hardware, 6536 West Highway 22, phone 502-241-8491. And for rewards when you shop, download the Ace Hardware app.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German American Bank has been raising the standards in banking and wealth management for over a century. Big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. We're lending more than money. We're lending a hand. German American Bank, building our community together.
Time matters, and when you're in need of a fast yet easy car wash, try Clementine's. Family owned and open 24 hours a day. Clementine's is a touchless wash that can make your car look as good as new in as little as 3 minutes. Visit them at the Old Thomas Car Wash location, 4139 Bardstown Road, or next to Kroger Fuel Center at 2010 Highway 53 in LaGrange. Clementine's, a proud supporter of high school athletics on Glycod, and juiced by Thomas Car Wash. For dependable, friendly heating, cooling, electric, and plumbing service, it's Kinzer & Kinzer at 200 East Jefferson Street in LaGrange, your locally owned and operated Rheem dealer. Call 502-222-0497.
You're watching a special presentation on Glycod.
Back here, South Oldham High School, Mitchell-Irvin Stadium on Cy Tucker Field, as we have just witnessed the first half of play between the number 2 ranked Sacred Heart Valkyries and the number 4 ranked South Oldham Dragons. We thought this would be a good one coming in, and that first half definitely lived up to the hype. Justin Kalen back here with you as we are right in the middle of halftime. Sacred Heart down below us to the right on their sideline. South Oldham off a little more off the field to the left, but that was a very entertaining first half of play, as it is a 1-0 lead for South Oldham here at the break. They got a goal in the 31st minute from their senior Maggie Murphy. It came off of a penalty kick, as you had some extracurricular inside the box allowing her that opportunity. And not only did she get that opportunity, but she took advantage of it as well, which gave her team that 1-0 lead. Other than that, it was a pretty tightly contested first half. I thought both teams had their chances. You had moments where Sacred Heart led time of possession. They would have it for 7-8 different minutes, and then South Oldham would come right back. They would possess the ball for 7-8 different minutes. So pretty incredible stuff there. Like I said, I thought both teams with good opportunities. Both teams certainly had their moments defensively as well. There were a number of passes deflected, a number of opportunities that were thwarted defensively as well for both of these teams. So all in all, pretty impressive stuff, but that's exactly what you expect with two teams of this caliber. One thing to note, I mentioned it in our pregame here this evening, this is a South Oldham team that has not beaten Sacred Heart since 2003. So this result here at half with that 1-0 advantage feels like it could be a huge situation for them moving forward if you're able to get that first win. Since 2003, have not tied with Sacred Heart since 2020. So a lot on the line here tonight for South Oldham, but like Coach Burke said in our pregame interview this evening, just treat this like another game. But it would be sweet if you're walking away from Mitchell-Irvin Stadium with the win here tonight. We'll see how it all shakes out here in the second half, as we should be underway here shortly. Stay with us. You're watching Louisville Girls Soccer Game Night here on Glycod.
UA Local 502 is powered by Louisville and Southern Indiana's best trained, most productive plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC service technicians. A proud community partner with over a century's worth of service, UA Local 502 members have the knowledge and experience for the project you want done, whether it's large or small. Visit lu502.com for information about the contractors who employ our members. UA Local 502. We do it right the first time.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Mike Shelton in Louisville today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
1965 male graduate and basketball star George Tinsley knows the value of providing quality service. And that's what you get when you dine with Tinsley Family Concessions. They provide travelers with many fine choices at Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. Whether it's Auntie Anne's, Chili's, or Kentucky Fried Chicken, you know your travel experience will be a more comfortable and convenient one. Learn more about their company by visiting tfcfamily.com.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German American Bank has been raising the standards in banking and wealth management for over a century. Big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. We're lending more than money. We're lending a hand. German American Bank, building our community together.
Time matters, and when you're in need of a fast yet easy car wash, try Clementine's. Family owned and open 24 hours a day. Clementine's is a touchless wash that can make your car look as good as new in as little as 3 minutes. Visit them at the Old Thomas Car Wash location, 4139 Bardstown Road, or next to Kroger Fuel Center at 2010 Highway 53 in LaGrange. Clementine's, a proud supporter of high school athletics on Glycod, and juiced by Thomas Car Wash.
Research has shown high school sports to be a great community influence. Join scores of local businesses that have partnered with Glycod in sponsoring live, hometown-oriented sports programming on our video and social media platforms. For more information, email info@glycod.com.
You're watching a special presentation on Glycod.
Back here, Mitchell-Irvin Stadium on the campus of South Oldham High School. That is the site of tonight's Louisville girls soccer game night here on Glycod. Justin Kalen with you as we are just minutes away from the second half. Both teams wrapping up their halftime preparations. And while we've got a minute, let me remind you that Glycod would like to thank our corporate partners for being part of tonight's live, free-to-watch high school sports broadcast. If you're a business owner and would like to market through our platform, all you got to do, contact us at info@glycod.com. That's info@glycod.com, as we've got a 1-0 lead here for South Oldham over the defending state champion Sacred Heart Valkyries. Excited to see how this second half plays out, as if it's as tightly contested as that first half was, we are certainly in for a fun second half of play as both teams head back to their sidelines. We are just about set to go here for the second half, so we'll sneak in one final halftime break, come back on the other side, and we'll bring you the second half of action for your Louisville girls soccer game night here on Glycod.
You don't have to look far to see the power of the Electrical Union Local 369. No matter the size, we have the right contractor to fill your needs. When it counts, you can count on the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 369. Contact the IBEW today.
Blind Direct, not just blinds. Blind Direct, not just blinds.
1965 male graduate and basketball star George Tinsley knows the value of providing quality service. And that's what you get when you dine with Tinsley Family Concessions. They provide travelers with many fine choices at Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. Whether it's Auntie Anne's, Chili's, or Kentucky Fried Chicken, you know your travel experience will be a more comfortable and convenient one. Learn more about their company by visiting tfcfamily.com.
You'll still have common days, but this is not one of them. A few weeks a year and you'll discover the most uncommon time of your life.
Looking to ease the stress of running a business? Then count on the accountants at Kelly King & Company. They offer a wide array of services, including taxes, payroll, and bookkeeping, while providing deep analysis and strategic guidance to help you make sound, smart business decisions. Contact Troy in Crestwood at 502-241-5656 or visit them online at kingcpa.net. Kelly King & Company, proudly serving and supporting Oldham County for generations and a dedicated partner to small business.
And just about set for the second half, actually underway now here in the second half of your Louisville girls soccer game night on the campus of South Oldham High School. Justin Kalen alongside you. Chris LeBar off to my right as our on-site producer. We've got Ellie Hunley atop the press box running the camera for us this evening. As Sacred Heart trailing by 1 after that first half of play, and they're going to look to be ultra aggressive here if I know Coach Francis at all. He wants that goal back, but he doesn't only want that goal back. He wants the win as well. Talked about it in the first half, just an ultra-competitive dude. Was neat reminiscing with him about that 2018 Louisville City USL Championship prior to the game tonight. Of course, that game was here in Louisville at Lynn Family Stadium. As here comes Sacred Heart up the left-hand side here. That was Curry. As the Dragons take it back. And that's really kind of been one of the issues tonight for the Valkyries. Every time they've got it deep in Dragon territory, South Oldham defense stands tall. Have had a number of shots on goal has Sacred Heart. Another ball landing out of play. As Gardner will throw this one in. No, they changed the call. Looked like Myron was going to take the throw in. Instead, she gives it up. Allows Courier to toss it into play. And taken away by the Dragons again. Trying to keep possession alive over here on the near side. Great work by Abby Hammonds. And another ball knocked out of play. Looked like that one went off the foot of Sadie Zeller. Here is the hero from the first half, set for the throw in, Maggie Murphy. Or it's a free kick, excuse me. After scoring the lone goal of the first half in the 31st minute. Looks to get it down the field for her team in good position here, right to the middle of the field. But quickly knocked away. Now Myron streaking up the middle. She'll work it out to the right-hand side. Lands at the foot of one of her teammates. I believe that was Sky Bonnert. She sends it down even further, and nobody going to be able to race that one down. That'll go out of play. And they rule that as a corner kick. Coach Burke doesn't love the call. Just the second corner of the evening for Sacred Heart. Had one in that first half. South Oldham with 3 corner kicks in the first half. And, of course, that penalty kick goal by Murphy we just mentioned. Ball being headed around down there. It's a dangerous way to live if you're the Dragons, but they do clear it out of there. Nearly 4 minutes into this second half of play. So you have that scoreboard working again for the most part. Valkyries across midfield. Now at the foot of Avery Krupp, who sends it away. Headed by South Oldham here. Good first touch there. Over on that far sideline, but unable to get it inside. And then this ball kicked away by Hayden Smith. And Smith unable to keep possession and see if Sacred Heart can get an opportunity here. And they cannot, at least for the moment. Ball in the middle of the field. Good looking run here for the Dragons. As that's Hammonds keeping possession alive. She sends it off to her right. A good kick at the goal here, and that's going to be no problem back there for Weidenborner. That was Mallory Van Meter, the junior, getting her right foot on that. South Oldham 1, Sacred Heart 0 up on our scoreboard. But the Valkyries will do everything in their power here in this second half to try to change that. If there's one thing I could tell you about this team, they will never give up. Working the way around the defenders there, and that's going to be whistled for an offsides. Coach Francis wants an explanation. His player was dang near at the end line. I don't know how there could have been an offensive player closer to the end line than her. So again, it'll be an Adele Finnerty goal kick. She had her fair share of them in the first half. As that ball goes off the head. I believe that was Madeline Schulten. Took one for the team, sending that one out of play. Coach Francis on that Sacred Heart sideline, begging his team to come up the field. He wants them to get ultra aggressive here in this second half as they trail by a goal. Now Hammonds with the ball on her right foot, loses it out of play. Substitution coming on to the field. Well, I thought there was a substitution. There is not. There's a head fake there by Lydia Gardner. She came running from the sidelines. Heard the whistle, but the whistle was just for an additional ball on the field. Throwing this one in here is Allie Stahl. Headed over towards that corner where Hammonds tracks it down. Still alive. Back to Hammonds. She'll send one into the middle and just missing the head of her intended target. But possession remains with the Dragons here. Already leading by one, trying to double that right now. Another ball headed inside. All kinds of green jerseys in there with an opportunity, but they can't get a clean look. And now it's taken away, and Sacred Heart quickly coming back the other direction. Here they go streaking down the middle, and a great defensive effort there as that ball cleared out of play by Evie Lilly. As that was a great run down the field by Avery Krupp. One of the best opportunities she would have had all night, but it wouldn't have mattered because the offside flag comes up anyways. So we've got 32 minutes remaining here in this contest. Finnerty set to send it away. Trying to make sure all of her teammates are in the right spot on the field. That is a heck of a boot on that one. As it lands with Hammonds, and she promptly loses it out of play. She was being hounded defensively, though, so no surprise there. Good cross-field pass there by Krupp. Working it back into the middle, trying to show some speed into the middle here. Off to the left. Attacking the goal, and one more try there. That was a great pass inside, but unfortunately her teammate not there to receive it. That could have been the moment that Sacred Heart was waiting for. Instead, possession goes back to the Dragons with 30 minutes, just over 30 minutes remaining here in this second half of play. Finnerty at the foot of a Sacred Heart player. But now Hammonds comes up with it, and she finds herself all alone into the middle. Had a teammate running up the field with her, but couldn't quite find her. Looked like Piper Robertson is who she was going for. And had she found that left foot of Robertson, then she would have surely hit the back of the net. The last no harm, no foul as Alyssa Weidenborner gets set to kick this thing away. Beautiful sunset behind Weidenborner. All kinds of pinks and purples up there. Gorgeous sunset, gorgeous night here at South Oldham High School. 77 degrees with mostly clear skies. As Avery Krupp in possession again. She's possessed the ball a lot here tonight. Now this one off to the right does land at the foot of one of the Valkyrie forwards over on the right side of the field. She'll try to work it up the right-hand side, and once again taken away. As the flag comes up, looked like they called an offsides, but they let play resume. Now to the middle of the field here, taking the shot, and that one just missing the upper left-hand corner of the goal. That was a heck of a kick by Avery Krupp. Down to 29 minutes remaining. South Oldham continuing to lead by 1. Looking for their first win over Sacred Heart since 2003. It's before anyone on this team was even a thought. Bonner fighting for that one. That one knocked away. Back into the feet of Hammonds, and now a little bit of a scuffle down there on that far sideline as they roll. Hammonds touched it last. Tell you what, South Oldham not playing like they've got a 1-goal lead. They're playing like almost they're down by a goal here. It's an advantageous way to play. So we're going to have another South Oldham substitution as Hayden Smith, the senior, going to come off the field. She is replaced by fellow senior Evie Lilly. Hammonds on this right side, loses it out of play. Taking her time on this throw-in. And it works out as it finds the foot of one of her teammates. Now trying to work this to the middle of the field. That's Lilly with it. Good fake there. Sends it off. And not the effort they were looking for there from Allie Stahl. At least got an opportunity at the goal. Looked like that one maybe coming off her foot a little bit awkwardly. Gotta say, decent crowd here on a Wednesday night. Free kick coming up now, and what do you know? Finnerty making her way down the field. She's taking these all night for South Oldham as this one, oh my goodness, what a shot! She finally finds the back of the net, and I'll tell you what, she has had a number of opportunities off those set pieces tonight. Holy smokes, that was an absolute rocket by Adele Finnerty, and South Oldham takes a 2-0 lead over the number 2 ranked team in the state of Kentucky and back-to-back state champions. What a goal. She get another look at it. That was unbelievable. Well done there. As we have got just over 26 minutes remaining. As that came in the 54th minute. So after the 31st minute goal from Maggie Murphy, Adele Finnerty getting in on the action as well. And apologies to young Evie Lilly on South Oldham. Said Evie on a couple of occasions. As let's take another look at that goal from Finnerty moments ago. I mean, that was just a thing of beauty. She put that where absolutely nobody could stop it. Don't care if you throw the goalie from the U.S. women's national team out there. She's not stopping that either. So how about that? That changed things quickly here in this second half. South Oldham now in good position to move their record up to 4-1 on the season. But we won't count our chickens before they hatch, as, like I said in the JV contest tonight, Sacred Heart with 2 goals in a matter of maybe 3 minutes to walk away with a 2-0 win. If the varsity squad can match that effort here tonight, could be walking away with a draw at the end of this. Hayden Smith coming back on for South Oldham. Molly Moyer, the junior, coming back on for Sacred Heart. Bonnard unable to corral that one along the left-hand side. Right in front of us, up in the press box. We're going to go all the way back to Finnerty here, who just had that miraculous free kick a few moments ago to give South Oldham that 2-0 lead. What an effort tonight for Coach Burke and his squad. Would be a big result if they can keep it the way it is. Now, after that Finnerty goal, you've got a little room to wiggle with as well. As Liv Burney coming back on for South Oldham. Bella Holtgrave making her way back out there for Sacred Heart. Looked like it was Stella McCrae coming off the field for the Valkyries. Looks like you got another substitution set to check in at the next break. It's going to be Evelyn DeFore, who's provided some good minutes tonight. Two nothing ball game, just over 23 minutes left. We knew this game would be a lot of fun coming in, and so far, so good. Throw in now for the Dragons. Knocked out of play. We'll go back to Sacred Heart now. South Oldham at the start of this game had those 2 big Dragon tents over their bench, but with the sun setting, they have opted to get rid of those, or at least push them back a little bit closer towards the fence. As there comes Evelyn DeFore. She will replace, that is Alex McDevitt. Ball bouncing aimlessly in the middle of the field, and good wherewithal there to go track it down. And that's going to be close to finding the foot of her teammate, but ultimately knocked out of play. Looked like Allie Stahl was the one that got to it and kicked it out of bounds. Throw in now for Sacred Heart. I'll tell you what, this South Oldham defense has just been swarming all night. Quick ball up the field here. As Bernie tries to change direction, loses it, but they'll keep possession. As we are nearly halfway through this first or second half of play. Throw in upcoming. And if you're South Oldham at this juncture of the game, just try to chew up as much of that clock as possible. Let's have some time of possession here. The less time that Sacred Heart's able to touch it, the less likely it's going to be they're able to get back in this game. Just like that, they do get possession back as Lydia Gardner will fire this thing in play. Gets it off the head of a teammate. Here comes Hammonds, all kinds of room. She's into the box, and great job there by Weidenborner. Coming out of her jurisdiction to slide and grab that ball. That was not many times tonight she's had to make a heads-up play like that, but she was alert and ready for that one. That makes it, or keeps it, a 2-0 game, I should say. So we are halfway through this second half. Back in possession with it is Krupp. She sends it off to the right. Now working it towards the middle and trying to advance it up the field, but this is going to be, once again, no issue for Adele Finnerty. And now she will just fall on top of it as the Sacred Heart players barreling down on her. Finnerty tried to get it to Hammonds, who a little wild on that first touch, but it remains with the Dragons anyways, at least for now. Now back with the Valkyries. That is Wazinski with the ball at her feet, sends it off to the right. And that's what South Oldham needs. If you're going to get it on your side of the field, you might as well get it all the way down there. Couple of substitutions coming onto the field. That's going to be Sophia Santos and Piper Robertson coming back on for South Oldham. I believe that was Lila Yousefi coming onto the field for Sacred Heart. So we're down to 18:30 left. South Oldham 2, Sacred Heart 0. As the defending state champs looking like they could be in trouble here tonight in this one. Fortunately for them, it's just a regular season game. It's a big regular season game, but at the end of the day, just a regular season game. As Hammonds with a good opportunity to get the goal there, but just off to the left. And I tell you what, she's really picked up her play here in this second half. Weidenborner directing traffic. Good kick there, but it lands at the foot of South Oldham, and now that one barely on the left side of that corner pole, so it will be another goal kick. Courier trying to advance it up for Bonner. Now Courier This one's going to be taken away. Here comes Murphy. Drops it into the middle. Now on the outside right, here's Hammonds. She'll get it inside as it's headed out of play. And a fourth corner of the night coming up for South Oldham. Find the back of the net here. That could really be the haymaker they need. By the way, I mentioned that 2003 game was the last time that South Oldham found a win here in this series against Sacred Heart. That night it was a 4-2 victory. Corner kick sent into the middle. All kinds of heads in there, and that's going to be another goal. Speaking of haymaker, there it is. Beautiful ball into the middle there. And that was scored by Blair Hartman. She's given the credit on the goal that time, and that could probably do it with just 16 minutes and some change left. What an effort tonight for this South Oldham team. 64th minute. Well done there by the senior, Blair Hartman. I stand corrected. They just make a change on the goal score. It was actually Evie Lilly on the goal. Just good karma for Evie. I correct her name, and she finds the back of the net. What an effort tonight by Coach Burke's Dragons. As we mentioned earlier, the number 4 team in the state of Kentucky, and they are given Sacred Heart, who's the number 2 team in the state, everything they can handle plus more. So we've got just over 15 minutes remaining. Maggie Murphy gets set for the free kick. Well, now Finnerty will come up and take it like she's done all night. She has scored off of one of these this evening. However, it was not nearly from this far away. However, that's a good ball in as it's headed off of one of the Valkyrie defenders. Now on the outside right, that ball caroms out of bounds, and it's going to be a South Oldham throw-in. And it'll be Gardner doing those duties. Back to Gardner. Good ball in. Headed away. Gardner tracks it down. Well, she tries to track it down. In the end, wasn't able to before that ball ultimately goes out of play. Looked like that was last touched by Sacred Heart, but not the case. As they're going to get another substitution, it's number 28, Kaylin. Make sure I got this. Kaylin Sona. Don't believe she has played tonight. If so, it has been sparingly for Coach Francis. Into the middle here. Good pass in. And that has just been the story of the Valkyrie evening. Number of occasions they've been able to get a ball into the middle of the field, but unfortunately so far have not had anyone on the receiving end of those passes. As now Finnerty going to fall on top of the ball. And she has been fantastic here in this one tonight, not only from a goalkeeping perspective, but also got that goal back in the 54th minute to give South Oldham a 2-0 lead. And lead now at 3-0. This has just been pure domination tonight by the Dragons. Again, let me go back to that record for Coach Francis here at Sacred Heart in his 5th season. They've only lost 11 games. So this is Not something you see all that often. Sacred Heart team just somebody getting the best of them. That has certainly been the case here in this one as the Dragons came in motivated, ready to play. South Oldham looking for more here as we're down to just over 12 minutes remaining. Working it up the field here in a hurry, and they know they have to at this point. 3 goals at this juncture seems unlikely, however, far from impossible. Got to have that never give up mentality if you're Sacred Heart. I know being led by Coach Francis, that's definitely a mentality they have. Although Coach Francis, for one of the few times tonight, has resigned to his seat over on that Sacred Heart sideline. Tell you what, he does not sit very often during a game, so you know things are either going really well or not so well if he's sitting down. Couple more South Oldham substitutions here, as well as one for Sacred Heart. It's going to be Hayden Smith coming back on, Blair Hartman as well. For Sacred Heart, it is number 12, Olivia Klassen. She replaces Bella Holtgrave, who comes off the field a little unhappy. 11 to play here in this one. From South Oldham High School, been a fun night of girls soccer for your Louisville girls soccer game night here on Glycod. Working it up the field here, now into the middle. Tell you what, this South Oldham team, you wouldn't know they were up 3-0. They still look hungry out there. Almost like they want to make this one worse than it is. Now the throw in upcoming for Gardner. Stick with me after the game. We'll do a very brief post game, get you caught up on everything that happened, and that was nearly another goal there as Weidenborn has to come up with the save eventually, but that shot went off the top of the goalpost there. If it had the right momentum, that would have kicked down and into the goal, and that would have made it a 4-0 lead. Sacred Heart fortunate that didn't go in. They've only allowed 6 goals in their 7 games so far this season, but they get 3 of them tonight. Hammonds races this one down. She finds herself all alone. Now into the middle, and that's going to land right into the hands of Alyssa Weidenborner. The sophomore has been solid with the opportunities she's had tonight. Really only one of the 3 goals she could have stopped, and that was the penalty kick. The other 2 were basically in a spot where she couldn't touch them. Under 9 to play here in this ball game. Back onto the field comes Liv Burney. She'll replace Abby Hammonds, who looks flat exhausted heading to that South Oldham sideline. She has been very active tonight, specifically in this second half. Really kind of been the straw that has stirred the Dragons' drink. Another ball knocked out of play. Samantha Myron coming off the field. That does not happen very often for Sacred Heart. Another ball knocked out of play as we've got under 8 minutes left. Looks like South Oldham is indeed going to hang on for the win. Be surprised at 3 goals. Could see 1, maybe 2, 3 at this point. Seems like a long shot. But a good ball in here as Finnerty has to fall on top of it. Just over 7 left. Bernie couldn't get that first touch to go her way. Now off to the left with it. That's Victoria Wissing sending it out to the middle. Right at the foot of a Dragon player. Bernie tries to get it up the field, knocked out of bounds. Looks like Finnerty taken out of the game for South Oldham as another good attempt down low. Stand corrected. It was Weidenborner who checked out. Leighton Wilcox, the sophomore, checking in at goal for Sacred Heart, getting herself some valuable experience. Both of these goalies play a lot for the Sacred Heart team. Wilcox on the year, 13 saves, 1 shutout, has allowed 5 goals. Weidenborner on the year has not allowed a goal until tonight. Did allow those 3. Coming into the game, she had also had 12 saves on the season as well, so that number has gone up quite a bit in this contest. As Dragons into the middle of the field. Doesn't look like they're done yet as we've got just over 5 minutes remaining. I'll tell you what, this is a 5 minutes that can't go quick enough if you're Coach Burke. Playing a talent like Sacred Heart, 3 probably feels like 1. Looks pretty calm there down on the sideline, though, to my left. It's been a great effort for his Dragon team tonight. No doubt about that. As Hammond's back in the game, donning that 23, set for the throw-in. Ball didn't hit the ground there for several seconds. Well done volleying, as we're going to get a foul down back towards the goal. Just over 4 minutes remaining. Sacred Heart looking for just 1. There is the 4-minute remaining mark. PA lets us know officially 4 minutes as Molly Moyer losing that last ball out of play. Now back in possession are the Valkyries, but only briefly. But now they do get it back. Wazinski tracks this one down, sends it all the way back to Wilcox. Good long pass up the field. As a train rolling by Mitchell Irvin Stadium here on the campus of South Oldham High School. I believe first one we've heard tonight. 3 minutes left now. A little bit of contact there in the middle of the field, but no call. Good ball up, but a great job getting a leg in there and kicking it away, which allows Wilcox to come out and snag that one rather easily. Dangerous kick there by Gardner, as now she gets her jersey pulled, and I don't know if that's what the official is whistling or not, but that was an egregious jersey pull against Lydia Gardner. Looks like the whistle was for an injured Dragon player. That is Mallory Van Meter working her way off the field in a little bit of pain. Looks like she's going to be all right. We're down under 2.5 to play. Again, we'll bring you a brief post-game tonight, give you a rundown of all the goals scored here in this contest. Let you know what's upcoming on the Glycod schedule. Then we'll send you on your way for your Wednesday night. Appreciate you being with us. Hammond's going to take the throw in here. Clock starts running again as they briefly stopped it for the injury. Gardner up for Hammonds. I'll tell you what, this South Oldham team, they have spent, I had to guess, about 90% of their time in possession here in this half on the right-hand side of the field, and that has led to a heaping amount of success for them. Combination of Lydia Gardner and Abby Hammonds has been special here in this second half. This ball knocked out of play. That was Klassen sending it out. Hammonds with just over 90 seconds left. There is that 90-second mark. Now Gardner into the middle. Sending this one back out up top. Allie Stahl all the way back. And they're going to go all the way back now to Finnerty. So there's our 70-second mark. Great win here tonight for South Oldham. And if you're Sacred Heart, just lost to the number 4 team in state. Nothing to be too upset about there. Both of these teams with one loss coming into this thing. Both of these teams losing to Notre Dame Academy. So based on those scores, didn't really know how this one was going to shake out this evening, but not sure I had a 3-0 South Oldham win on my bingo card. So we're down under 30 seconds to play. All the way in the back with it now. That is Wazinski. Back with Wazinski, who heads it away. And we are in our final seconds here of this one. I believe the game clock just a little bit behind or ahead of where we are in real time, but talking seconds. Waiting for our countdown girl down on the sidelines. Was very helpful at the end of that first half. And there is the final whistle, as that's going to do it. South Oldham gets it done by a final score of 3-0. Big early season win for them here tonight. We'll step aside for one break, come back. We'll break it all down quickly, and then we will get you on your way for your Wednesday night. Stay locked in with us. It's Louisville Girls Soccer Game Night here on Glycod.
Innovation is what allowed us to reach for the stars. And now, to reach for the ignition without changing your oil for what feels like forever. Introducing Oil Guard, a Ferris exclusive. This innovative Vanguard oil system lets you go 5 times longer between oil changes. Along with Ferris's patented suspension system, you'll cut faster, mow longer, and reduce maintenance.
Anderson Sales and Service in Madison, Crestwood, and Louisville.
Trying to be a responsible citizen and the best recycler you can be, but you just aren't sure what goes where? Google Oldham County Waste Wizard and check out the Wizard search engine. Just type in the name of your mystery item and see what pops up. It will tell you whether it goes in the trash, recycle bin, or donations. It tells you how to discard troublesome items like paint and televisions. Can you believe it even tells you how to get rid of a boat? Oldham County Waste Wizard, do you believe in magic?
This message funded by Oldham County Solid Waste Management.
From tools and equipment to tips on finishing your project, see the helpful folks at Crestwood Hardware, your locally owned Ace Hardware store. Built on more than a century of service, Crestwood Hardware offers Oldham County's best and most convenient selection of products for your home, farm, or garden. Visit Crestwood Hardware, 6536 West Highway 22, phone 502-241-8491. And for rewards when you shop, download the Ace Hardware app.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German American Bank has been raising the standards in banking and wealth management for over a century. Big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. We're lending more than money. We're lending a hand. German American Bank, building our community together.
Time matters, and when you're in need of a fast yet easy car wash, try Clementine's. Family owned and open 24 hours a day. Clementine's is a touchless wash that can make your car look as good as new in as little as 3 minutes. Visit them at the Old Thomas Car Wash location, 4139 Bardstown Road, or next to Kroger Fuel Center at 2010 Highway 53 in LaGrange. Clementine's, a proud supporter of high school athletics on Glycod, and juiced by Thomas Car Wash. For dependable, friendly heating, cooling, electric, and plumbing service, it's Kinzer & Kinzer at 200 East Jefferson Street in LaGrange, your locally owned and operated Rheem dealer. Call 502-222-0497.
You're watching a special presentation on Glycod.
Back here, South Oldham High School, one final time this evening for your Louisville girls soccer game night coverage here on Glycod. And it is a 3-0 win for the South Oldham Dragons to bump their mark up to 4-1 on the year. Sacred Heart dropping to 5-2-1 on the season. First win for South Oldham against this Sacred Heart team since back in 2003. So they snapped the streak here tonight. And how'd they do it? Well, they got a goal in the 31st minute off the foot of Maggie Murphy. Had a penalty kick situation, and she ends up finding the back of the net to give them that 1-0 lead. That's the score they would take to the halftime break. Then they would come back in the second half, had all kinds of relentless pressure, and Adele Finnerty finding the back of the net. She was the goalkeeper tonight for South Oldham, but just a gorgeous free kick from well beyond the goal, finds the back of the net to make it a 2-0 game. And then the final score tonight came off the foot of Evie Lilly. She found the back of the net in the 64th minute to give South Oldham that 3-0 win. So pretty entertaining game here tonight. South Oldham 4 corner kicks, Sacred Heart with 2. So there you go. That'll be the pretty well the end of our broadcast here this evening. Make sure to keep us locked in on Glycod. We've got all kinds of football coming your way on Friday night. Male Ballard, Providence, Holy Cross. Those are 2 games that should be fantastic. So if you're looking for coverage of either of those games, make sure to search us right here on Glycod. We appreciate you, as always, for watching us. Speaking of appreciation, appreciate Joe Ritchie, the athletic director here at South Oldham, for having us, getting us set up in a great spot to be able to bring you all this content. Thanks to Steve Bird. This game coming together a little bit last minute. Steve, Mr. On the Spot, got us some notes ready so we can bring you some good information, so appreciate him for that. Chris LeBar was my on-site producer tonight. Thanks to Chris, as always, doing a great job keeping us up and running. And Ellie Hundley on our camera this evening. She did a tremendous job, so appreciate her as well. And that's going to wrap up the coverage here for this evening. This is Justin Kalen saying so long and good night. South Oldham with a 3-0 win over the Sacred Heart Valkyries. You've been watching Louisville Girls Soccer Game Night here on Glycod. Good night, everybody.
You're watching a special presentation on Glycod.
Visit glycod.com and follow us on social media for information about upcoming broadcasts and other high school sports content. Thank you for watching this live sports presentation